Okay. Okay, Nick, so can you tell me, we were just talking about Up in the Air, and we got to the moment where George Clooney walks off stage at the conference. So what happens after that? How do things go for him?
Gosh, actually, it's part of the movie. I don't remember that that clearly. I believe he also goes he goes to visit this woman that he's had this kind of unconventional relationship with.
Uh-huh.
He always travels, and he meets her at a bar earlier in the film at one point, and she travels all the time as well. So they hit it off and end up having amazing sex and totally fall for each other. So then they check their schedules for when they'll be in the same cities at the same time. So then they meet up, and so it goes like this for a while. And so he seems to come to this realization with his professional life and with his married life that he's kind of living a lie, or he's not fully living. He's living up in the air, not on the ground.
Yeah.
He's not living in reality.
So he's not really living an authentic life.
Yeah. So he goes to visit her in Chicago, where he finds out where she lives, and he goes to visit her. And he knocks on the door, and children come to the door. It's her children. She's married. He finds out.
So she's not disclosed this to him in the
past
that she has kids.
No.
Okay.
So he pretends. I think the husband comes to the door. He pretends to have the wrong address or something like that. So he goes through this period of kind of disillusionment, and he can't believe in his professional career, and what he thought was a relationship was not really a relationship. So he's been deceived, and he's been deceiving himself about the legitimacy of what he does, which is basically fire people for a living. And he's this kind of motivational speaker character. So that's getting it. I think what happens.
That's sort of where things end. So it doesn't have there's not a turn for him in the end of the film where he finds some new way to relate, or
I don't know. I don't know that there's any realization or a neat Disney-like resolution. But he at least gains something important, and that's this knowledge that he wasn't living a fully authentic life.
So that resonated with you some?
Sure. Yeah.
At the conference.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't walk off stage,
Yeah.
But it felt different than it had felt before, because actually the morning that I gave my main presentation was the morning after I had stayed up late with my brother.
Yeah.
So.
And what did it feel like giving the presentation with this recent conversation somewhere in your mind, in the back of your mind, or maybe in the front of your mind?
Yeah. Well, it was almost kind of disembodied. I mean, it's always a kind of almost like an altered state of consciousness. Fuzzy way to put it, but when you get up there in front of a big group of people and start talking, and really get into the flow, and mostly in a good sense, once you get habituated to that. But this time it was altered in a different sense. It was kind of disembodied. I was more just watching myself delivering this. It was like I could see the mechanisms working, the shtick.
The role that you've been filling.
The role, and I was not fully inhabited in that role. So that was jarring, and then when I came back and started to preach sort of normally in the congregation, that kind of haunted me. It was always kind of in the background, and that's really one of the things that's propelled me here, is that it's not something I can shake, that new feeling that I get when I go on stage, as it were.
So it's not something that you feel you can minimize, but it also doesn't feel like something that you can sit with. There's got to be some kind of resolution of this.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's how. What would the next step be? Because it's so many of the things in my life have been very linear.
Mm-hmm.
It was about growing the congregation and so on. And hold on one second.